Hey guys, MCU Collector here with another figure review. This thing's so big, I can't fit it in front. I just can't. There's no way. This is the Mondo 1/6 scale Spider-Man, the animated series Venom. This box is huge. Venom's a big guy, obviously. Plus, it's 1/6 scale, so it's crazy. But kind of the turnaround box. A couple things I want to point out here. It looks like we get credit to where credit is due for those that worked on this particular figure. So you guys could check them all out there. But this is the Venom figure. The artwork looking pretty awesome there in the front. We have this open flap here, so you can actually, let me try and turn this around a little bit. You get this Venom artwork there, which is really cool. And then here, you get a look at the figure. Oh, geez, you can't even see the whole figure. Hold on, let me raise this up all the way, and then bam, you can see the figure. Try to get as best lighting as I can with this. Oh, it's not too bad. We get a couple of head sculpts in there. We get a couple of webs. We get a hand that's holding a Spider-Man mask, and then we got a bunch of extra hands in there, and we have the Venom figure. This is 1 scale figure, which is like a 12-inch scale. I'm not sure exactly how tall Venom is. I think he's definitely taller than 12 inches because he's bigger. But I'm excited for this. I got this from Big Bad Toy Store. Shout out to them for sending it out my way. But this is not the limited edition exclusive version that you could have ordered directly from Mondo. I didn't get in on that because it's like I'll wait for Big Bad Toy Store. So I do have the Spider-Man figure that's on pre-order. I don't know about the symbiote, the black suit Spider-Man, if that will ever have a regular release or if that was solely exclusive. And if it was, I'm super sad about that now, or will be. But I'm hoping that there will be a future regular release so I can be able to get that one. But with Venom, I'm very excited to get him. I thought Spider-Man would have come first, but Venom is the first one to arrive. And again, I'm very excited about this. 1/6 scale is kind of one of those things. It's like, they're so big. They take up a lot of space. Can you collect them? I have all the Hot Toys MCU Spider-Man figures, and I love them. They just stand there and pose because they're pretty delicate because of the soft goods suit and things like that. But with Venom, there's no soft goods suit to him, so posing around I think will be better. But still, a massive figure, so it's a matter of trying to figure all of that out. So, link in the video description below if you're looking to pick up your Mondo 1/6 scale Spider-Man animated series Venom or Spider-Man. I'll have both links in the video description below. There's a few different X-Men figures and stuff, X-Men 97, X-Men the animated series, that, I've thought about getting, but then I don't know if I can complete the line, so I kind of stayed away. But for Spider-Man, I gotta be all in. Spider-Man, my first love, what introduced me into Marvel. So here we go. Let's go ahead and get Venom out of the box. Okay, just to knock this out of the way, we got to do the size comparison with the Marvel Legends Venom, because obviously it's the same. We get the same cell shading style, paintwork, and whatnot there. And the size, again, crazy size difference between a 1/12 scale and a 1/6 scale. But just fitting this Venom figure in frame is kind of crazy. As you can see, you got my lights visible and everything there. But I just wanted to show you guys so you guys could see, for scale-wise, how large is this figure? It's quite large. And it's pretty freaking awesome. It is really nice. I love the fact that in a 1/6 scale, we can move this guy around because he's plastic. Hot Toys is plastic too, but they're delicate because of the soft goods. Or if you have an Iron Man, like the die-cast and everything, it's like you really want to be careful. So when it's plastic like this, obviously you still want to be careful. You don't want to manhandle it, because I've already kind of, on one of these web pieces here, this peg I've kind of cracked, and it's basically ready to fall off. So you gotta be careful a little bit too. And I didn't manhandle it. I kind of pegged it in, but I didn't. It's a little bit of an angle, and I kind of messed it up. It didn't break off completely, but I heard the crack. I'm like, whoa. And I pulled it out, and kind of left it at that. And I will never ever use it again. But here, the Venom figure again, pretty freaking awesome. I really like it. I love the flat black to it, whereas the Marvel Legends has a little bit of a shine to it. Sure, you could see some light shining off of the Venom, but he's a very matte color with the black, which is really cool. So really happy with it. So let's go ahead and zoom in. Let's take a closer look at the details. And then we'll look at the accessories, the head sculpts that he comes with. He's got 2 extra head sculpts. He's got a bunch of extra hands. We've got different web accessory hands. You get these 2 web hands with these massive webs here. And then you got the ones with the smaller web piece, which can swap out. But again, you gotta be very careful with those. And then you also get these web pieces here, which are cool. And then you could see they actually will peg into the end of these webs. Be very careful with those pegs. And then you can actually have, like, you know, he's firing his web. Like, once I get Spider-Man, you could, like, oh, you know, he's webbing up Spider-Man or something. But I do not have Spider-Man yet. And oh, you know what? Are these bendy wire? I see the little holes in them. Oh, it is bendy wire. I'm not sure that, you know, he could shoot his web and it bend or not. But, hey, it is bendy wire. So you could kind of do something with that. So that is kind of cool there. So let's go ahead, zoom in, and let's take a look. Okay, here we go. The up-close look at Venom. I have to raise my tripod up really high, so it's kind of crazy trying to work around this, and it's like directly in my face, my camera. But yeah, just look at how awesome that looks. I love the sculpt of it. I love the paint. The paintwork on this is really, really good too, which is great because you don't want to, you know, on an expensive figure, you want it to look nice and clean. And that it does. It does, and looks really, really good. We get a couple of different head sculpts. So here's just kind of the basic one. This is the one that's on the figure out of the package. It's just kind of that smiling look to it. Swapping out the heads isn't too bad. You can see it is on a dumbbell joint and how the inside of the head sculpts look in there. So we get that one, and then we get a Venom with his tongue sticking out. And we got that there. That looks really good. Nice sculpted tongue with crazy looking teeth. Looks good there. But not only that, we also get a Eddie Brock head sculpt, and the Eddie Brock one's a little bit more difficult to get on there. I already did it once, so let's see if it's going to give me any troubles right now as I'm sitting kind of far away and having to do this. And yeah, it is. So one single time didn't kind of loosen it up enough. There we go. So we've got Eddie Brock on there. I don't know if I have that fully down or not, but it is on there. And that looks really good. It's cool that we get the Eddie Brock on there. He has a little bit of cell shading on him there. But that looks good. He's very mean. He's upset. Probably hates Peter Parker. Definitely hates Peter Parker. So there we go. So those are the head sculpts that we get for Venom. Looking at the rest of the figure, I'll just kind of drop the camera down slowly as we pan down. But look at that spider logo. Beautifully painted. Beautifully done. Cell shading in there, so you see a little bit of gray. And you got the blue and the red, which is quite nice. So yeah, it looks really good. Looking at the back. Spider logo looks good on the back, too. Not too shabby. Not too shabby at all. There. So let's go ahead and start working our way down a little bit more. Oops, I'm not light in the way. And then, so here, what I want to look at is here on the arm. So they did that for like symbiote effect. Marvel Legends did this on actually in the same spot too, as you can see there. So that's what that kind of is going for there. And then obviously they painted it for the cell shading, the red and blue look there, which is really cool. Oh, I guess I could have zoomed out. I didn't think about that. And then you got the cell shading. So red on one side where blue is kind of the other side of the shading. And that all looks really good. And then just kind of throughout the figure. And you got that there. So that is the painting on there. And then all the hands, kind of the same thing. You know, you got red on one side of the hands, and then you got blue on the other side. So it's really cool how they did that there. So, but let's go ahead and go over the articulation. Actually, before the articulation, I didn't mention this in the accessories. He has one hand that holds the Spider-Man mask, which is really cool. They did the cell shading on the Spider-Man mask too. But that's just a nice little touch. It's pretty cool looking. It's part of the hand, so it's not like you can remove it. It's not just like a free accessory that you can kind of float around. It is stuck to it pretty good, so you've got that there. In terms of hands, we got two open hands for Venom. Those are the ones that come on the package. And then you also get the thwipping, which would be Venom thwipping hands on the back of the fists, like so. You get standard fists, so you don't have a peg hole in there where the web would go. Those look good. And then you also kind of have a little bit more clawed hands there. And then you also have a pair of grip hands here. And then there are the other fist thwipping hands with the long web piece. So there's the better look at the hands. So now we'll get to the articulation. Okay, we're going to do this in two segments. We're going to do an upper half and a lower half. So upper half, Venom, he can look basically straight out. You're not really going to get him to be able to look up on that dumbbell joint, so you get that going there. But looking down, he could look down somewhat because, you know, obviously he's going to have to look down to Spider-Man. Swivel in that head sculpt, and you do get some pivot going on in there. The shoulder, you can get the shoulder to go out that much there. So you can't go all the way out straight T because he's got these large shoulders in there. So just a heads up on that. They're very ratcheted. So, you know, you got to kind of take it in steps. I don't think you could do a full swivel. I think you're just going to have to, it would be forcing it a little too much in the shape of the pec and the shoulder. So you can, you know, get the arm out. It just feels like there's a lot of rubbing going on. So I would be careful there. You have the upper bicep swivel in there. A little stiff, but you got it. We get double jointed elbow. Gives us just about 90 degrees, as you can see there. And then wrists are on a ball peg, so you could swivel and hinge around any which way you need on there, which is cool. Now, the torso articulation is pretty lacking, in my opinion. But it's also just like this massive, gigantic figure, so I don't necessarily hate it. You don't want something that's going to kind of flop around or anything also. But you get the diaphragm, and then you got a ball joint waist in there. So you could swivel at the waist, as you can see there. The diaphragm itself has a little bit of swivel, not a whole lot. And then in terms of tilt, and I'm trying to force it as much as I can, there's not a lot. So that's just me tilting him to his left there and kind of pushing it as much as I feel comfortable doing. Like I'm trying to, you know, force it a little bit. That's to the right. So it's not a whole lot. Going back is basically nothing. I can't really get him to lean back. Coming forward, though, is a little bit on that diaphragm, not even at the ball joint waist. So coming forward is that much there. So not a huge amount. So if anything, yes, there's just a little bit lacking in the torso articulation. But at the same time, I also want a sturdy figure. Maybe that helps with it. But maybe there's a way they could have allowed for additional movement. I'm not really sure. And with the diaphragm cut, I like the scaling and the size of it. Sometimes with some diaphragm cuts, they tend to be much larger, which then gives you more range, but then doesn't look as good aesthetically. I like the way this one looks here, but I do wish it could have gotten a little bit more range out of there. Now let's move to the lower half. Okay, legs. So let's see, how far do the legs go apart? They actually go apart pretty well. So they actually go that far apart. So that is pretty good. Kick forward that far there, so not bad. Doesn't really go back. You got a little bit of a swivel up there at that ball joint at that hip, so swivel at that thigh. Double jointed knee gives you a nice beautiful bend at the knee, which is quite nice. The foot does have ankle pivot. There's no peg holes at the bottom of the feet, but the figure does come with a figure stand. Now the ankles are heavily ratcheted, so you can hinge them down like so, and then you can hinge them up, but they are heavily ratcheted. Like they are stiff, but ratcheted, so they're going to be sturdy, which is great. So that is the movement there. So not a huge amount in the articulation on the lower half, but it's definitely the good stuff of what we want and what we would need it to do and need it to be. So that is good. It's just the torso that seems to be lacking some of the articulation that and range that we would like. Okay, so I'm a little bit of a risk taker. So I had mentioned I had messed up something earlier. So this web piece, it can pull out of that fist. And then you do have these that will work in there. But again, it's at an angle. So you want to be careful. And you know what? They don't fit in super nicely. And I guess that's how it would be. So you would have to like go out that much there. I feel like these other ones weren't that hot. Oh yeah, I guess they were. Yeah, I guess they were. So you have that there. But be very, very careful when doing this. Like, I'm scared to... Whew, okay. So you have that there. So that's how you do the web piece. But yeah, it's... Like, these ones are nice because it's sturdy, whereas this one, you can see, has the smaller peg. So that's why you have the risk of it breaking like I did on mine. So, again, be very, 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 very careful. Okay, so some additional scaling. I brought out my Hot Toys Spider-Man final swing suit here, and you can see Venom is significantly taller. So Venom's probably standing at like 13.5 inches compared to the 12 inches of the Spider-Man there. I do not yet have the Mondo Spider-Man, that it will be coming hopefully soon. I'm very excited for that one, more so than Venom, although Venom is very cool, of course, don't get me wrong. But Spider-Man, right? The show is Spider-Man, the animated series. So I'm very excited and really looking forward to Spider-Man. And I think maybe getting Venom first actually helps with that, because now I know what to expect out of the Mondo, since this is my first Mondo 1/6 scale figure. I do have Batman, actually, the black and white Big Bad Toy Store exclusive. I have not yet reviewed that, so I haven't opened it yet to really feel for it. So technically Venom's the second, but Venom is the first that I've opened and played with and messed with and got to see firsthand, in hand, move it around, articulate it, check out the accessories, all of that, which I haven't done yet with Batman. Hopefully I'll get to the Batman soon. But yeah, it's pretty awesome. So now I know what these are all about. So when Spider-Man comes in, I'm even more excited for what that figure is, because I've seen some QC issues when it comes to Mondo. Like, I think somebody had a Rogue that was like painted really badly, and then like a knee was like super loose, was just like flopping around. I have no issues whatsoever with my Venom or anything. The only issue is that I kind of broke a peg on the web thing. But that's on me, right? That's not on Mondo or anything. So I'm really liking it and really, really excited to get Spider-Man. You know what's actually crazy? And I was just doing this kind of trying to take some pictures with this web and stuff, and the web just comes out so damn far. But depending on the side that you're looking at, Venom really changes the way that the figure really looks. So like looking at him from the left side, you know, you see more of the red. So it's like, oh, you know, he's really menacing looking. But when I had him turn this way, it's like, oh, you know, it's not so bad. He's kind of light in color. He doesn't look so bad. He doesn't look like that scary of a guy, right? But then, again, the other side, look, you know, flipping it around and seeing all the red, it's like, ooh, okay. I see it. That's just kind of an interesting touch there. But, you know, working this web piece, you know, it just sticks out so far, and it's kind of like tricky. I was like, oh, let me do a picture like this, that maybe that'll be the thumbnail or something. And I thought it looked kind of cool. I don't know if it's going to be the thumbnail. If it is, you guys let me know what you guys think of it. Okay, short, sweet, and simple review on the Mondo 1/6 scale Spider-Man, the animated series Venom. I'm really happy with it. I didn't know really what to expect going into this, since it's the first Mondo figure that 1/6 scale Mondo figure that I've had in my hands opened up. I have the Noir Batman, the animated series that's exclusive to Big Bad Toy Store. I'll get to review to that hopefully pretty soon. But this is the first one I've had actually in my hands to articulate, and I'm very, very happy with the way it came out. I do kind of wish that I would have gotten the Mondo exclusive versions, because they have additional accessories and things. I think there was like a head sculpt with had like some of the green slime goo stuff coming out of his mouth. Some cool accessories. The Spider-Man also had some exclusive accessories. I think it had the Green Goblin mask, maybe. Or was it the Shocker hand? No, that would be the Symbiote one. Then the Symbiote Spider-Man was exclusive to Mondo, and I really wish that I had gotten that one. And I hope it gets a regular release. But if I don't get it, I guess I won't be too upset. Maybe eventually somewhere down the road I'll get it. But Venom I'm very happy with. Even more excited to get the Spider-Man now that I know what to expect out of the Mondo 1/6 scale figures. I'm very, very excited to get the Spider-Man. And I look forward to it. So if you're looking to pick up Venom, you're looking to pick up Spider-Man, links in the video description below. They are available at Big Bad Toy Store. Spider-Man's pre-order. Venom, there were some in stock right now, but the website is down for maintenance, so I don't know what the stock levels remain on Venom, but last I saw, I think there was like 9 in stock, and then I think when those sell out, they'll have pre-orders up for it again. So if you're looking to pick it up, link in the video description below. Head to bigbadtoystore.com to check them out. Let me know what you guys think of this Venom figure down in the comments below. What do you think of the Mondo 1/6 scale figures? If you're already an avid collector of them, give me all your guys' thoughts in the comments below. If you guys like this video, please do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you haven't already done so, and as always, thank you for watching.